Most beginners who buy their first radio get it wrong. Not because they pick a bad product, but they pick the wrong type for how they'll actually use it. They drop money on a software-defined radio, fight with drivers for an evening, and it ends up in a drawer. Or they grab a shortwave radio and wonder why they can't see all the cool digital stuff everyone's talking about. Here's the part most comparison videos skip. Shortwave radio versus SDR isn't a which one is better fight. They're built for two completely different kinds of fun. One is the easiest way to start listening. The other is the most flexible way to explore the spectrum. Pick the wrong one for you, and great gear collects dust. So stick with me for a few minutes and you'll know exactly which side you're on. The one specific model I'd buy for your situation, and where the price links in the description can save you some cash. Let's start with what these two things actually are, because this is exactly where the wrong buy happens. A shortwave radio is a simple tool. Turn it on, pull up the antenna, pick a band, and you're listening. No software, no drivers, no computer. Desk, windowsill, backyard, hotel room, it just works. An SDR is more powerful, but it leans on a computer to do its job. The little receiver plugs in and your screen becomes the tuning dial, the recorder, the filters, and a waterfall display that lets you actually see signals instead of just hearing them. So here's the split that drives everything else. A shortwave radio is built for easy listening. An SDR is built for exploring. Keep that in your head. The rest of this video hangs off that one line. And that split shows up the second you ask what you can actually hear on each. A shortwave radio is built around broadcast listening. The shortwave bands, AM, FM, and on better models, single sideband or SSB, which is how you catch ham radio operators and utility signals. That means international broadcasters, hams, and time stations with almost no setup. You tune, you listen, you pick up the bands as you go. An SDR usually reaches much wider. With the right one, you can pull in shortwave, FM, the airband, weather satellites, ADS-B, the signals that track aircraft overhead, ham radio, digital modes, and a pile of VHF and UHF activity. And because you see a big slice of spectrum at once, finding an active signal is way easier than tuning blind. On an SDR, you get to see what's out there before you hear it, and that's the part beginners fall in love with. But seeing all that spectrum comes with a catch, and it's the setup. For pure simplicity, the radio wins, and it's not close. Pull a portable out of the box, add batteries, or charge it, and you're listening in minutes. The controls are physical, the screen is simple, and the only real learning is bands and times of day. An SDR isn't hard, but it asks more. You need the receiver, a computer, the software, the right drivers, an antenna, and a feel for modes, gain, and filtering. For some people, that's the whole appeal. For others, that's exactly how a $40 dongle ends up in a drawer, never touched again. So be honest with yourself before you buy. Do you want radio to feel relaxing, or do you want it to feel like a project? There's no wrong answer, but there's a wrong answer for you. Here's something neither camp likes to admit, though. Your radio is only as good as what it's plugged into. For shortwave, the antenna does a huge amount of the work. A portable will pull in strong stations on its built-in whip, especially after dark. But clip on a few feet of wire or just move near a window and away from your electronics and reception can jump dramatically. SDRs lean on the antenna even harder. A basic one does fine on FM in the airband with a small antenna. But for real shortwave, you want something better, a long wire or a loop, ideally outdoors and away from the computer. And that last part is the catch most people miss. SDRs live right next to laptops, monitors, chargers, routers, LED lights, all of which spray electrical noise straight into the bands you're trying to hear. So a beginner with a cheap portable out in the yard can genuinely out-listen someone running a pricier SDR next to a noisy laptop. The antenna is an accessory. It's a part of the system. And real quick, if that noise tip alone just saved you from blaming the wrong thing, a like and a share genuinely push this in front of the next person about to overpay on gear they don't need. That's the only time I'll ask. Promise. There's one more practical reason a plain radio still wins for most first-timers. You'll actually carry it around. A shortwave radio goes anywhere. Desk, bag, backyard, carry-on. And that matters more than specs, because reception changes massively with location. Sometimes walking 10 feet away from your own electronics beats buying a pricier receiver. An SDR can travel, but it's a bundle, the dongle, a laptop or tablet, cables, adapters, and antenna. Great at a desk, clumsy on the move. That's why, for someone who just wants in, the radio is the better first device. You're far more likely to actually use it. So let's bring it home. Here's exactly what to buy and who each one is for. Quick headline first. Most beginners should start with a portable shortwave radio, then add an SDR later. The radio teaches you to listen without getting in the way. The SDR is the upgrade for when you want to go deeper. So with that in mind, let's get into my top picks for each side. And since prices jump around a lot, check the links in the description before you buy to make sure the deal still makes sense. On the radio side, start with the Tecsun PL330. It's the best simple starter. Full shortwave SSB for ham listening. Direct frequency entry, easy scanning, pocket-sized, and priced for a beginner. For most people, this is the one. Want aircraft too? Go XHDATA D808 instead. Same shortwave and SSB, plus the airband, which a lot of beginners end up loving. And if you want something nicer and more polished, the Sangean ATS 909XT is the step up. Bigger, pricier, built for long listening sessions. Now, if you already know you're the type who wants to see the spectrum and learn through software, start with an SDR. The RTL-SDR blog V4 kit is the cheap, no regrets way in. Step up to the SDRplay RSP1B for wider coverage, a 14-bit receiver, and more headroom than a basic dongle. And if weak signal HF and shortwave performances are the whole point, the Airspy HF Plus Discovery is the one I'd steer HF-focused beginners towards. One money tip before you click. Whichever side you land on, don't blow the budget on the box and skimp on the antenna, especially with an SDR, because that's what actually decides how much you hear. Simple rule to end on. If you want to listen, buy the shortwave radio. If you want to tinker, buy the SDR. And if you honestly can't tell yet, you're a radio person. Start there, and you'll walk into checkout sure you don't waste a cent. And since most of you are starting on the radio side, that's the rabbit hole to go down next. I ranked the best shortwave radios for every budget in my next video. Go see which one took the top spot.